Okay, in our first game we have Meko versus Xdes. Meko is playing the Sky Strikers, okay. One thing about Swords of Revealing Light. One thing Swords of Revealing Light pass. Oh wow. One funny thing about one thing about all the decks having custom skills is that most of them tell you right away what deck you're playing, so you can just play around what they're playing. Xdes is playing Triamids, and he cannot attack because he does not have an out to Swords of Revealing Light. Oh, that's the field spell, I guess. Do you want to use the effect on the Swords of Revealing Light? White Princess, Widow Anchor, Engage, there it is. There's the Engage. Of course it's the Engage. It's always the Engage. It's always the Engage. Oh, it's Spiritual Entanglement. I am very familiar with this card. As a YouTube channel who makes free-to-play Duel Links decks, I am very familiar with these free-to-obtain removal spells. Okay, that's the multi-roll. Well, you may run into a situation because he has Swords of Revealing Light that his zones might be a bit clogged, but as long as he plays around it, it should not be too big of an issue. Ooh, okay, we have some counterplay going on. Triamid Poles popping the multi-roll, preventing it from sending the field spell, and preventing him from both having the multi-roll and getting a ray on field, but he still does not have an out to the Swords of Revealing. Like, I guess that doesn't really, that isn't really that big of a deal just yet. He could have popped the swords with the trap, but because that doesn't really do anything just yet, it's fine to just leave it. And Hunter will be negated by the Widow Anchor, preventing it from switching the field spell and preventing Xdes from searching with the graveyard effect of the Cruiser. So hopefully that prevents him from having another monster on field, because once Triamids have two monsters on field, the deck just pops off, because being able to cycle through 2 field spells per turn basically gives you a free search every turn by going into Cruiser and then into another field spell. Ooh, he's using the skill that gives him a field spell, so he could just manually trigger the effect of Cruiser by just activating a random field spell on top of it. That is pretty funny. And I believe that should probably be the end of the game pretty soon. Even though Xdes can't really attack, I don't think Meko could kinda get back into the game just by having 2 cards in hand. Maybe if he grabs an Engage, maybe he could do it, but it's gonna be a bit rough. Oh, never mind. I guess we're winning this turn. We're just gonna attack by destroying the Swords of Revealing Light and just going in for a bit over lethal. Yeah, it's a nice game. Okay, second game. We have Meko going second, which is really nice for strikers. And I see that Xdes has opened 2 field spells, which allows him to immediately cycle through one of them, and then search any monster that they want. And then the free draws from Cruiser are also pretty nice, just loading up the graveyard with a bunch of monsters. Unfortunately, he does not seem to have the trap, so 0 disruptions. Let's see what strikers could do. during the standby phase, we're gonna cycle through the field spells, just getting some searches off. Is he gonna use the second monsters effect? We'll see. He probably will, judging from him adding the dancer. But he is going to let it go to the main phase, huh? Now, without any disruptions, we can very safely activate the field spell and get the search off. And it all comes down to luck. In this free-to-play tournament, it is not very likely that he will be able to play triple Ray, because there is a gem cost limit, but I guess you just get lucky and open it anyway. I don't know how many copies of Ray he is playing, I guess we will check later. But opening the Ray is really huge. He will be able to cycle through the King Golem, summoning another monster, and it's Swords of Revealing Light once again. And this time, Triamids do not have the trap, so good luck outing the free to obtain Swords of Revealing Light while it is on the field. Okay, we're gonna go Ray. I guess we just go Hayate and just attack until we win, right? If he does not have an out to Swords of Revealing Light, I guess we could just go Hayate and just keep attacking directly over and over again until we win. Or I guess Shizuku is also pretty good to get ourselves an Engage potentially, or something like a Widow Anchor. My opponent was disqualified, but it's not showing my next match. That probably is because there is no other person in your next match. So you probably have to wait until there is a second person in your bracket, and then you can start playing. So basically now you just wait. Yeah, it is too late to join. You have to go into my Discord, in the link on the top left of the screen. Okay, we are gaining a whole bunch of life points with the field spell, and unfortunately I don't think Windstorm of Itaqua really does anything against strikers, because they're all links. So yeah, you probably just want to discard it. And Triamids actually have a pretty good matchup against specifically Triamids, specifically strikers, because they can't actually pop their monsters while the field spell is on the field, while the pyramid is on the field. And even if they don't have the pyramid, they can always just switch into the pyramid if they activate any removal spells. And also, they don't really have a good way to clear face-up back row. The only way they can do that is using the second effect of Afterburners if they have a 3 or more spells, which is not very likely, at least in the early game. Can we do our matches first? We're both in the room. As long as you're both in the room, you can play. You can start playing. You don't have to wait for anything as long as both players are in the room. Okay, we're adding a Widow Anchor, and also getting a free draw. That's very nice. Cruiser is going to get a Search. it's gonna grab another dancer. I wonder if he already has the Sphinx. I don't even know if you even want to make Sphinx, because if you make Sphinx, you just get stolen with Widow Anchor. We have the Gorgonic Guardian negating the Kagari, but we have a Widow Anchor. We are going to negate the Xyz to prevent it from negating. Oh, we're chaining holes. Target one other face-up card on the field and destroy it. Is he gonna destroy his own Gorgonic Guardian? He is. That is a really smart play, which prevents his Widow Anchor from negating anything, which allows the Gorgonic Guardian to resolve and preventing him from adding back a spell from the graveyard. Ooh, we have a copy of IDP. I guess that means we probably aren't playing a lot of Rays. If you are able to play IDP. Is IDP in the same box as Ray? Actually don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe that's why. We can check real quick. Ice Dragon's Prison. It is in a Phoenix Blaze. And Ray is not in Phoenix Blaze, so that must mean that there's only like a single copy of IDP and maybe like one Ray. Oh, do we have lethal? Oh, we do have lethal. And just go pulse pop the Swords of Revealing Light once again, allowing Triamids to go in for lethal. That is 2-0, I believe. What a fun game. Ooh, Dennis versus Selena. Is that going to be... Is that going to be Lunarlight? Oh, it's Pendulum Magicians. Going to Time Gazer. I see, that's a pretty free-to-play option. Going to Trapeze, and then just ending turn on Trapeze. Okay. Fire Formation Tenki. Okay, what are we grabbing with this? Are we gonna grab Lunarlight Kaleidochick or Lunarlight Tiger? Depending on what he has in his hand, it's probably gonna be one of these. Or maybe even like Black Sheep might do it. I think Lunarlights are probably gonna be one of the best decks in this format because of how cheap it is and how much it could actually play through. And I don't think a lot of decks, as is, have an out to a Leo Dancer already. And that is even more big of a deal in free-to-play decks, where you don't really have the space to counter these type of monsters that have both target protection and destruction protection. I didn't know it is now. Did you miss it? Can I have 10 minutes? What do you mean? Do you want like a 10-minute break or something? I checked it in with 30 seconds left. Yeah, you have to immediately start playing as soon as 2 players are in the same room. Oh, we're going to Phoenix, okay. Yeah. So like as soon as two players are in a bracket, you have to like check in within 10 minutes. And then you have to immediately start playing. So don't plan anything in like the next 2 or 3 hours. If you... Probably 2 hours is gonna be enough. But like, yeah. So just go back and check every like 10 minutes. So that you don't miss your match. And you don't get disqualified. Ooh, are we dead? We have a damage juggler, that's not, that is not a trick clown. And Trapeze will be popping the Phoenix. Unfortunately not be able to pop the untargetable Saber Dancer. Are you watching poor people fight? I am watching poor people fight. You feel a bit bad for watching while waiting? Yeah, that's how actual Yu-Gi-Oh! Works anyway. If you just look over the table, you could see what other people are playing. And if you face against them, you already know what they're playing. That's just how it is. Okay. Mad at myself for forgetting the field spell locks me out of responding twice in a row. That is very funny. Had the out and cooked myself. You've burnt the kitchen. This is why you should never run less than 10 archetypes in your deck. No one will ever know what you're playing from one glance. We're making out of Rookie with that one. Let's go. We have an out now. And we out the Saber Dancer. That is the question. What even are the options to out Saber Dancer? I guess you can go Dreadnought if you're playing that card, and then attack it over the Tiger, and then during the end of battle you go into Magnus, and that is a non-targeting monster removal. Non-target, non-destroying. Okay, I guess we just do not have an out to Saber Dancer. That's very sad. One glance at the LFGP's Christian deck and you won't know what he's playing. Well, he knows. Well, they know that I'm playing Christian, so at least they know that much. But the other like 80% is a mystery. Okay, I think the Gen X might be cooked. The Gen X just may be cooked. I wonder if we could OTK through the Trapeze. The Trapeze is going to be pretty annoying, but if we have a way to actually, for example, use Crimson Fox to make his attack 0, then you'll be able to... Oh, we can just make Tiger King. I guess that works. That does negate the effect of Trapeze, and allowing him to actually deal damage. Yep, and that will be the end of the game. We'll Pendulum Magician Performages win, or will Saber Dancer or Leo Dancer be down and be enough? I don't know if he is able to make Evil Swarm Nightmare, because this is a free-to-play deck after all, and I don't know if he has the space to play it. And I will not spoil myself, even though I do have access to the decks of everyone, so... we will just wait and see, I guess. Lol, I overslept and got DQ. That's fine, that's okay. There's like plenty of opportunities, even if you don't, even if you missed this one, there will still be plenty in the future. Oh, what are we even making? Xyz into Dweller. Okay, we are playing good Xyz monsters, I see. But I don't know how good Dweller will be against pendulums. I guess it's pretty good against performages, but not so good against pendulums. But I guess he just needs one Xyz monster that detaches, so you could have something for Tiger to revive. So it doesn't really matter what he makes. Even if Dweller doesn't really do anything, he's still probably gonna make it just so he could preemptively detach the Collider Chick. And now it's probably gonna make Roach, because we don't have enough gems to make to play Nightmare, so instead we're just playing Roach. And then in draw phase, Shotgun Dweller. Okay, we do have the out to Roach, even though I don't think Roach would have done a lot against a level 4 strategy anyway. But okay, we drew the Pendulum Call, and we also have Damage Juggler in hand, so we can discard that and just gain a whole bunch of advantage. That is very nice. Oversleeping in duel rooms is what I'm famous for. Okay, we have Time Gazer, Stargazer, that is enough to Pendulum Summon anywhere from level 2 to level 7. And then we'll make a Dragon Pulse and a Trick Clown. And I believe that, yeah, he couldn't actually OTK because of Dweller. Otherwise, he could have made another Xyz because of Damage Juggler in the graveyard and also Trick Clown being able to revive itself. That would have been a second Xyz, but because of Dweller, he could only make one. So the one single Xyz that he's gonna make really needs to do a whole lot. Otherwise, I don't know if he will be able to win against a follow-up that... Oh, it's Exciton Knight. But I believe that doesn't really do anything. That is an out to Saber Dancer, at least. And Roach is going to come back, which doesn't really matter because it has no material, so it can't really do anything. If anything, it's more of a detriment, because now he has one more card on the field, and it will be much more difficult to play around Exciton Knight. So in order for Lunarlights to win, we need to make Leo Dancer. If you make Saber Dancer, it's just gonna be popped by the Exciton Knight. So the key to victory is if we could have access to the Leo Dancer. Or we could make the Tiger King to force the negate early, so that we could just make anything afterwards and not worry about the board wipe of Exciton Knight. I guess we will just let him negate us. Because, Exciton Knight unfortunately cannot activate during the main phase of your opponent. So, can't even chain Exciton Knight to the negate. And we do have the Wolf, so we do have access to Leo Dancer anyway. There she is, the big, fluffy woman that just wins games on her own. Exciton Knight is unfortunately not going to be enough, and even though he has a Trick Clown, it is pretty much futile at this point. We have way too much over lethal. Here we have the finals with Shuyo2 playing Witchcrafters versus Pro Player playing Tech Genius, an actual good deck that is in the tier list right now, even though we don't have a lot of the expensive stuff, but I still feel like the skill is good enough to carry the deck all the way. And Witchcrafter is going first, so we don't have to worry about stuff like Arclight, which potentially completely shuts down Witchcrafters entirely, just because of the Floodgate effect preventing him from sending stuff from the hand to the graveyard. Okay, we do have a monster plus a spell, which is all they need to combo. We're gonna pitch the Widow Anchor and make what are we making? Hein or Veer? I believe it's gonna be one of those two. It is gonna be Veer. Okay. Shmieta send the trap, I think? No, we're sending the one that draws a card. We're gonna draw one. Okay, because we drew the trap. That is why we didn't send the trap. Okay, that is a pretty standard Witchcrafter board, just a Veer pass. And notably, we do not have the broken continuous trap that he just seems to open every single game in the last bracket. So it will be interesting to see if we can both win against a good deck and do it without the continuous trap. Okay, we're gonna use a skill, grabbing the search spell, which you don't really need multiple copies of. And that's a good thing about Tech and Genius, is that the skill, being able to search the spell, lets you only play a single copy of the ultra rare search spell, so you can very easily build the deck even under strict gem cost restrictions, like the tournament that we are watching right now. We're gonna pitch Survival's End, which contests Veer potentially, and because Veer cannot negate Survival's End, he could negate the monsters, but Survival's End is a trap that activates from the graveyard, so he will have a really hard time outing the Survival's End. And Survival's End is also a counter to the continuous trap if he happens to draw it later. And that really stops Witchcrafters from accumulating a bunch of advantage from the single continuous trap alone. We do have both the Striker and the Werewolf, which combined with the skill can threaten a Black Rose Dragon or a Squire Saga immediately to force out negate. So things are not looking very good for Witchcrafters. And we might not even go for a level 7 Synchro because we do have the Booster Raptor in our hand, so we can just summon it, and then now we immediately can use the effect of Survival's End to pop the Veer without it being able to negate anything significant on our field. And we still have the Witchcrafter trap in the graveyard, which potentially is able to summon Jenny from the deck. We might want to do it right now before he tries anything funny to make a Hane on the field. So the Hane could pop potentially anything that the TG player is going to put on field. And then we're just gonna make Star Guardian, and that is, I believe, combo all on its own. What are we adding back? Are we gonna add back? We're adding back the Warwolf. And I believe things are looking really bad for Witchcrafters. And unless a miracle happens, that should be pretty much it. And also, Tech Genius does have kind of a unintentional buff just by having the Link 3 change its effects. Because its original effect says it must summon to zones that it points to. That means if you pop the Link 3, it prevents it from summoning anything. But I believe because they changed the effect in Duel Links, because we don't have zones, all 3 zones that Triamid Launcher points to. So now you can just summon it anywhere. So even if the Triamid Launcher gets popped, you can still summon stuff from the deck. So we're gonna make Hine now, and do we have a spell in hand to use the effect? We do, okay. I think we probably want to pop the non-shooter, and we just hope that that stops their turn, but they can always just make the Link free, I believe. As long as this card is not a Tech Genius monster, that should be fine, but he does have the skill that just prints a non-shooter out of thin air, so none of that mattered anyway. And I think if we make Squire Saga, that should be already enough for lethal. But who needs Squire Saga when you can just go for 6k Onimaru attack over anything? I think he could have just made Squire Saga using the Star Guardian and level 2, and then popped the Hine and attack with everything for lethal. But this works as well. Just make a really huge Onimaru and just attack over the Hine. There it is, the free-to-play synchro takes game 1. Witchcrafter's going second, oh no. Oh no, no, no. That just might be completely over for Shui unless he has back to square one in his hand. Oh wait, why is he automatically disqualified? You know what? You just keep playing, because I'm watching anyway. So whoever wins the best of 3 is gonna win anyway. I just ignore the website. I'm gonna be the judge. So yeah, you're not getting a free win. you're not getting a free win, Chewie. Trident Launcher. Maybe he's not going for Arclight. Maybe if he doesn't go for Arclight, we might have a chance. But maybe he is going for Arclight anyway. Nope, he's not going for Arclight. Maybe you have a chance. The FTK is not present. Maybe he doesn't know that Witchcrafters just cannot play under Arclight, because Arclight sends anything that goes to the graveyard to the banished zone. Okay, we might have a chance here. Maybe we could play through a Halberd Cannon, which we can definitely do if we opened with the spells that let you summon from hand or grave. TG Link does restrict you from making Arclight, but you can possibly not make the link and just make the Arclight using stuff on your field. Just by having Striker plus the free level 2 that you get from the skill. Or even potentially Gear Zombie plus the Werewolf. You can do that as well. So if you are familiar with Witchcrafter, you probably don't want to use the link at all. You probably just go make Arclight and pass and just hope for the best. Okay, do we have an out to the Halberd Cannon? We are about to find out. Sometimes you don't have the right hand for Arclight. There is no wrong hand for Take Genius because you can search anything you want. So there is always a hand that makes Arclight. You just search different stuff with the search spell. Okay, we do have the back to square one, so even if he had Arclight, we still could get rid of it. But for now, we can't really get rid of the Synchro because the link prevents it from being targeted. So now we still have to contest the one Halberd Cannon. Can we do it with a 3-card hand? We do have a Widow Anchor! Let's go! Okay, now we are cooking. We can even steal the Halberd Cannon. And then, do we have another spell in hand? As long as we have another spell in hand, I think we are cooking, but maybe we do not. Yeah, we do. We do have another spell. Okay. That is fine. Okay, we do have a Survival Zen in the graveyard, which is really frightening. So anything he puts out will be destroyed. And I don't think there is anything that he could do if it gets destroyed, right? Yeah, the Survival's End is probably going to be enough to win. Okay, we're gonna link someone. What are we linking into? Proxy Dragon, of course, because this is a free-to-play tournament. So we're not playing good links, we're just playing Proxy Dragon. Just to get rid of that Synchro. And then Shmieta can banish to... What are we grabbing? What are we sending? Are we sending the Trap? And then grabbing ourselves a Jenny on field so that we could recycle the Witchcrafter spells during our end phase. But we still have to deal with that survival's end, which is still a problem. We could attack over the Booster Raptor, and that also stops the survival's end. But that also gives him a search at the end phase when Booster Raptor is destroyed. So either way, it's gonna look tough. Okay, so we're gonna go battle, attack the Booster Raptor. Are we gonna do that? We're not attacking the Booster Raptor. We're not giving him a search. That is probably the correct play. What do we top deck? Not a monster. So if you're just going to settle with 2 set back row and no follow-up, we could banish the spell to shuffle back the Screw Serpent. So we have a 1 in 12 chance of drawing this Screw Serpent. But it's not going to be very likely. Maybe we just might be able to walk with this. End phase, we're going to summon Witchcrafter to our field, and we know that the card in hand is not a spell, it is a monster, because we saw him search the monster with the graveyard effect of the Jenny. So he couldn't actually tag out in the end phase, so maybe he could have popped the Jenny during the end phase, and that gets rid of his monster. But he does have another monster in hand, so even if he gets rid of the one Jenny, he can always just normal summon the other one. And yeah, maybe attacking would have been the play, because he's only playing 1 Screw Serpent, so even if he gets a search, it's not going to be anything too significant, because it's not Screw Serpent. And anything that is not a Screw Serpent is a 2-card combo. At the very least, and it might not even be the correct 2 cards, even if you draw 2 monsters. So yeah, it probably might have been a play, but regardless, I think two Hinds is probably good enough. Even if he pops one of them, we have the second Hind. There it is, Survival's End, popping. Oh, we're popping the link to, because we can attack twice anyway, so popping anything probably doesn't really do it. And there it is! Witchcrafter takes game 2. Now we are in 1-1. So it's the all-important game 3. Who will win this game? Will it be a person who's playing a good deck? Or probably the most dedicated Witchcrafter player in the entire game? Witchcrafter is going first, so no Arclight shenanigans. Let's see what Witchcrafters are able to cook up. Okay, we do have the search spell, which is always nice. Grabbing the level 3 effect, we pitch the Holiday to summon Shmieta, I believe. Use this effect to make a Veer. Okay, maybe we're gonna use the effect of the draw first before we tag again. We draw into another level 3, which we can't really use this turn, but we can always have it in the graveyard for next turn. We're not grabbing Veer, we're making Hane. I never know how to pronounce Hane or Hein. I keep switching between the two. But, I should probably go check the Japanese pronunciation. And then I can decide for sure which one is the correct pronunciation of this level 7 Witchcrafter. One pop is potentially enough, but he does have the Widow Anchor that negates the pop, so now we're left with a Trap in the Grave and a Dream. Honestly, that still probably will be enough, depending on what he has. So, a quick effect that summons Madame Veer might be able to at least make him not lose this turn. And if you're playing Witchcrafters, as long as you don't lose, it's probably going to be good enough, because the grind game in this deck is just so insane. Oh, we're going for it now. Are we going to make the... We're going to make another copy of Hane? Yeah, we are making another copy of Hane. We're gonna pop the tuner, I believe. Okay, now we just go Trident Launcher, right? Now we're just, I think, completely dead to Trident Launcher. Okay, maybe even if he makes Trident Launcher, we don't lose this turn, and that's huge. As long as we don't lose immediately, I think we still have a chance, because Jenny is in the graveyard, Holiday is in the graveyard, and the Draw is in the graveyard as well, so as long as we don't lose, he will be able to summon back the level 7s from the graveyard using the graveyard effect of the Jenny. He might just die putting Hane in an attack. Maybe. At least it has more than 2k, so you don't just lose to a single Onimaru. Which, pro player seems to really like making. So now we're just hoping that Witchcrafter doesn't lose this turn. As long as we don't lose, we have plenty of follow-up. So we do have a tutor and some non-tutors on field. We could make something like a Squire Saga, but I don't know if that's gonna do anything. We could make a level 6 Synchro, like summoned the Summoned Skull Synchro, which we saw him use last 2 games ago, I think, to make Onimaru. Yeah, he is playing the Archfiend's Call. He can make that as well, but realistically, I think you probably go make Trident Launcher. Yep, there it is, Trident Launcher. Effect to special summon from hand, the deck, and the graveyard. And oh yeah, I guess he could summon Trishula, but if he's playing Arclight, he can't play Trishula, so it makes a lot more sense to play Arclight and not Trishula. Okay, we're summoning back a Striker, another Striker, and then Warwolf. So what can we make here? We can make Star Guardian, grab back something, and then make a level 10 Synchro. I believe that is enough to make Halberd Cannon. You just summon back the Warwolf with the Star Guardian, make a level 5 synchro, and then you just go through the motions using your skill to print. I think they used the skill already, right? Yeah, they did. They already used the dragonfly, so they can't really use it again. They can't really synchro summon on the level 12 without the dragonfly. So he's just gonna attack and end turn. Okay, we survive. We still are in this game. Oh no, did you not? Okay, never mind. So normally you want to turn on your toggles so you can pop the synchro during the draw phase. But because of the link free, you can't really do that because the link free protects it from target effects anyway. So he couldn't make Halberd, which is nice, but he could still make the level 10 synchro, which is still really annoying. But it looks like that we just might, be able to win. We have two Hanes on field, both of them protect each other. So none of these can be targeted by any effects. I think he is threatening battle, and that forces him to use the effect of Star Guardian. And what are we making? Are we making the OG Tech Genius level 10, or are we making Shooting Star? It's probably going to be the OG one, because that one is free to play. Yep, it is Blade Blaster. The OG free to play level 10 synchro for Tech Genius. We can't really pop it because it is protected by the link free, but we can always just attack the link free and then pop the big synchro afterwards. But the big synchro does have text on it. It says, if it is targeted by a spell trap that targets this face-up card, you can send one card from your hand to your graveyard and negate that effect. But if we pop it with a monster effect, that does not trigger, so we can always do that. But it has a second effect to basically banish itself until the next standby phase to dodge targeting effects, so we couldn't really destroy it that easily, but we can still prevent it from being on the field by just using forcing it to use the effect to banish itself. We're gonna pass it back to him. Okay, we're gonna want to pop during the draw phase, because during the main phase, if he uses the effect of limited removal while he has a machine Tech Genius on field, he can add it back to hand directly, and Witchcrafter wins the match! Tech Genius is just out of follow-up, and there we go! The winner of this tournament is Shuyo2 with Witchcrafters. Congratulations.